Hello, I'm Isabel, your village witch. I am a life coach and ritualist, and if you like what I make, you can find out more about how to work with me or have a reading of your own in the links below. But for right now, let's get right into our collective reading for this Lúnasa season. Lúnasa being the right around August 1st, the day when in the wheel of the year, we're looking at the first day of the harvest, this energy of collecting the things that we've made, looking over the course of the year, getting some clarity around what we have created and what we have found and discovered so far in our journey in this cycle of the wheel. So I'm going to do a short shuffle. One more. All right, I'm cutting the deck. Here, I'll tip you a little forward if I can. Nope, I can't. Okay. It'll all show up on the screen soon. Okay. Yep. Yes. All right. Quick pause while I get a picture of the spread so you can see it right here. Okay. We're going to start right in the middle. The position of this card is where we're at in this moment. What is this moment for us? And we've got the 9 of Wands, which is a card that's about being kind of exhausted, a little bit beaten around, and feeling like we've been really struggling on this journey, pushing through, trying to reach some sort of culmination with the 10 in the ace to 10 storyline, and feeling like it's just been a real journey and it's just been pretty tiring. So we're looking for how we can, in the rest of the reading, things to keep an eye out for are how we can sustain and move through that moment to the other side, but also what can we learn from that moment? What is it illuminating for us that we need to see? We'll move to below, and I'll circle back to the 9 as we illuminate it. Move to the below card. The below card is what brings us to this moment, and sort of like what undergirds the reading. What are the roots of where we are? We've got the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is the card of, oh gosh, what's the word? Apathy. This card is about not being able to see what's in front of us, not being able to understand or even recognize the divine gifts that are being offered to us. You can see in this card, there's someone leaning against a tree with sort of this like repose look on their face. They're looking down or they're asleep. And there's a cloud with a hand extending from it, which is pretty divine, pretty mystical, with a cup reaching towards them, but the person can't see it. So this is a moment where we're just, it feels really in relationship with the 9 of Wands, where it's like, we're so tired, we're so worn out that we can't quite see the grace or the magic that's opening for us. And there's one more thing around that. Oh, this was sort of like an intellectual thought that came through, is that it's high summer. I don't know where you live, but a lot of places are really hot. Oh gosh, I have a rabbit that's like rolling around in nap time ecstasy on the floor. I'm trying to get a shot of her at the end. It's really hot. It's the dog days of summer. And that can feel, on the one hand, like the Four of Cups. And then on the in that cup that's being extended to us, it's like, it's the first day of harvest season. There's so much abundance. There's so much to discover. But for whatever reason, we're not able to open ourselves to that. So I'm looking to the next few cards for guidance on how to open ourselves to that. On the left, we have the Page of Wands. This is a card that speaks to what's in our recent past, an energy or a set of occurrences that have come through in the recent past. And the Page of Wands, let me feel into this for a second. Pages are students, and the wands are about creativity, fire, creation, projects. So there's something in our recent past that has to do with, oh, hold on. Yeah, okay. It has to do with, yeah, I'm seeing the through line. If you're looking at this through line from left to right with me, that's what I'm taking in. This has to do with having started something that we thought would be easier, and it wasn't. Some kind of creative project that we thought would be like, that would go the way that other creative projects we've done have gone. And there's something about it that is coming up short against this Nine of Wands, Four of Pentacles barrier. And what was coming through for me is really like, if you are leftist, if you are in the US and trying to be part of a movement that creates a safer future for everybody, this feeling has come up a lot for me around feeling frustration with the current political moment, with the current political parties, neither of which are really helping us, the people. And this feeling that like the way we've started these creative projects of like, and this is not to say that we shouldn't do these things. It's just to say that we have to look at them from a different angle, of like letter writing campaigns or, fundraising in a certain way. That's one example of where those things might not be doing the same, having the same impact that they used to, or feeling like they're moving us forward in the same way that they used to. I would also expand this out to like, what other creative projects in your life did you expect would go one way? I know that I have a novel that I'm working on that I thought I'd be done with by now, and I'm not. What other creations and creative projects, could be relationships of some kind, are coming up for you that are not going the way that you thought they would? We're also in a number of planetary retrogrades right now. So you can look to astrologers that you trust for some guidance around how to navigate that sort of like coming up against the wall energy or a backwards feeling energy. But what are those projects that you've been working on that are not going the way that you thought they would? They're maybe not going as fast as you thought they would, or having the fast shift that you thought they would. And how, I need to get this part out, it's important. How do we need to look at them from a different perspective in order to move forward? How do we need to shift the way we're approaching things and stop, beating our heads against the wall of doing things this one way that we know has worked in the past, and think instead about, what's the new way that I need to learn? And that's very page energy. We have the Page of Pentacles on the other side. So this question of like, how can I be a student? How can I bring beginner's mind in? How can I soften and change shape and adapt? That's very, very page-like. So we'll move to this card on the right of center, the Page of Pentacles reversed. We're going to keep right in this conversation of, okay, Page of Pentacles is the student of earth magic. They are the archetype of a being who is open-minded to what the earth has to bring and is interested in learning just the magic of being human, the magic of the world, what ways of being feel magical, what what, like, I think life hacks are one phrase we could use around this sort of thing of like what feels like it is allowing us to like slide easily through the mundane magic of life. And it's reversed. So we have to look at this from a different perspective. We have to really take in the question of how does this need to change? There's a paradigm shift on the horizon for us in the near future. If I didn't say that, that's the position of this card. That was the recent past. This is the near future, an energy that's coming around the corner. So we really need to ask, where do we need to look for different solutions or look for different ways to approach the same solutions? This is a good place to start looking for mouse holes in the wall, things you didn't see before, pathways you haven't tried yet. It's uncomfortable. It's to use a Dan Savage phrase, it's squicky. And it is, I think that's his. Comment if you know if that's his. It's just this corridor of pages, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. We're moving from this creative energy that didn't quite go where we thought it would to something more, Pentacles are a little more practical. They're a little more, let's take stock. It's a good energy for the harvest season of what's here in my hands. What have I harvested? What you can see, like I'm like the page is holding this pentacle. What's here? What have I made? And using that as a doorway through which to step, even if you don't know what's on the other side of the doorway yet. Tuning into, ooh, yeah, this is coming through nice and clear. Tuning into what you are harvesting, what you've made so far this year, what the community around you has made, what we here in the Village Witch YouTube and Patreon have made together by just showing up in the same space every 6 weeks or so. Really looking at that clearly, journal about it, go on a woods walk and think about it. Those are my moves. So do whatever your moves are to consider what your pentacle harvest is and how the answer to that, what is that, is guidance for moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, we'll move on to the outcome card, which is the Chariot. The Chariot is a card that is about forward motion. It's permission to move forward. It's permission to take the next steps that are presenting themselves. And the answer to what those next steps are through everything that we've gone through, this like gnarly retrograde sort of things are not going in the forward direction that we anticipated, energy of the 9 of Wands and the 4 of Cups, into the, okay, so how do we have to become a beginner? How do we think about this? How do we get into that earnest, sweet energy of the pages? Those two halves of the conversation coalesce and give us some kind of answer around how to move forward. And there's a little more to this card, so I'm gonna sit with it for a second. All right, I'm just going to start talking. Quintessential to the Chariot is this balance of energies. On some versions of this card, they're horses. Here, they're these adorable dogs. And there's this balance of energies, light and dark, one idea and another idea, intellectual approach or logic and feeling, that are in conversation with each other. Hold on. Our job isn't to understand either of those fully, or to, if those are the two horses that are pulling the chariot forward or the two dogs that are leading this person forward. Our job is not to turn to either one and try to understand it fully. Our job is to trust that the intellectual and the felt are the horses, the dogs that are going to guide us forward. And we just stay in the middle with that trust, being born on the wave of their energy, on the forward motion of those two balancing energies, opposing and balancing energies. That got deep. I'm just looking at the full picture to see if there's anything that I need to bring back in. I'll just say that I can see that this moment of stuckness of the end of July, maybe early beginning of August, is real and worth recognizing. We don't need to beat ourselves up about it. We don't need to resent ourselves or the universe for creating that stuck place. That stuck place is exactly what gives us the understanding to get on that chariot path. All right. I hope you're having a really sweet summer full of cherries and peaches and time outside or time playing a video game or whatever floats your boat in this season. And if you want to learn more about the seasonal holiday of Lúnasa, also known as Lammas, also known as the start of harvest season, literally and energetically, you can check out the link to my Patreon below, where I write all about it and all about the Wheel of the Year in general. Write and put up meditations and other relevant stuff. Okay. I am sending you a lot of love, and I will see you back here for, you can check out my Lúnasa meditation, and I'll see you over there, or I'll see you back here at the autumnal equinox. Bye.